He made it through the first time. Oh, the foot for safety. Nice. He's listening. It's so nice to ride with someone who listens. I don't have to keep talking. And you come to these conclusions on your own. That's how you can work.
How much did you beat me by?
The lap timer didn't turn on.
What could I do to piss him off? Maybe I should wave to him. Hello everyone, welcome, Miłosz and Bula. Listen, we are at ODTJ in między near Shrem. We've gathered here to show you what Gymkhana looks like from the perspective of a professional athlete. And today, our goal is that I've never had the chance to ride in this discipline before. Miłosz, as a professional, let's say, will be watching to see how I do. We want to truly prove to you a significant point made by Miłosz and all the dedicated people who practice Gymkhana, that this is truly an accessible sport for everyone for very little money, and you can easily do it with just a small patch of pavement and a few simple cones, right?
Exactly. So, listen, do you even know where this idea came from? It came from the fact that Świat Motocykli had already filmed something. And last year there was this video by Andrzej, literally filmed from his helmet, where he rides and shows certain things. It turned out there was a huge demand for that. And actually, that's when, as you can see, the idea came up to put someone in who really, I don't think it's a bluff, who has never actually ridden on a training lot. Precisely. Unless just a little bit, maybe just passing through somewhere sometime.
Probably not. Maybe at a rally, but that wasn't with a license. He has a driver's license.
He has a driver's license.
We have some cool motorcycles at our disposal, and which is also our goal to show you, because we really have 3 completely different motorcycles, from a single cylinder 125 through a twin cylinder 800 to a 4-cylinder beast, to show that you can ride any of them, right? Sure, one will be better, another worse, but we'll draw conclusions at the end of the day. So listen, let's get started.
Yeah, listen, everywhere and for everyone, because look, what are we riding on today? On cobblestones? They're not bad. No.
Cobblestones aren't bad, but as with any cobblestone, there are some joints between them. It's not exactly a perfect surface. We'll see how I do it without any advice. Then Miłosz will step in as the expert and give me a few tips. We'll see how helpful they are and how the time changes on a given...
Yeah, listen, because this is precision riding, but in a sporty time format. So, what do you say? Let's fire it up and get started.
Let's go! Let's get dressed and hit the road.
Daniel, listen. The most important thing in Gymkhana, the cones, if they cut tennis balls, that's fine. If there's something else, even water bottles, or without water, if it's not windy, that's also cool. Why?
So, something that won't hurt us if we run over it.
Exactly. Listen, I'll show you how it looks. Look. You don't run over the cone. We always laugh about it. You won't fall over on a cone. Look, whether you bump it or run over it, that's important, because then we don't get stressed out, so to speak.
Yes.
Of course, sometimes when we're riding on the road or practicing, our gaze gets a bit fixated. That's also what Gymkhana is good for. That's what it's for too. You can imagine that it's a pothole or an oil stain, something that surprises you, something you have to avoid on the road. But here, don't worry, we're training safely. So if you bump into a cone or run over it, don't stress about it at all.
All right.
Now for the sporty part, look. Lap timer. You can use it on the track, and you can also use it in Gymkhana. I'll set up a regular Chinese gate for you there, which will automatically start timing you as you pass through it. This is also a sporting discipline from Japan, dating back to the 70s. So if someone gets into it, they start racing against the clock.
Right, because you just brought up the topic that Gymkhana in general originates from Japan, right?
Yes, that's right. Well, it probably also has its roots in horseback riding, doesn't it? Where people would also race horses between various obstacles. But in this competitive form, it's true, the 70s, Japan. Listen, I'll set up a gate for you. I see you took the Literka.
I took the Monster. I'm going all in.
For sale. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to tell you. With what? What does that result in? I'll show you in a moment. The simplest Gymkhana figure, but one where you can practice everything.
Yes.
It's a figure 8, a bit like in the exam, but in a version where there are 12 cones set up. If you're riding for time, competing, then you have to measure those cones precisely so that later you can, for example, upload it to YouTube and show it. Oh, I did it in under 30 seconds. Do you want to know how long it usually takes to ride this figure before you try it? Or do you want to find out afterwards?
I'd rather find out afterwards.
You'd rather find out afterwards. Very, very good. That's a very sensible approach. For our purposes, if we measure it by steps, that'll be fine too. I've got 4 cones. Can I do something with 4? Yes, I can. If I want to practice figure 8s or some rotations, 1, 2 meters. If it's a little less or a little more, it's not a problem. 1, 2, 3. First cone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Second cone, and I can already practice figure 8s. I can practice rotation. What is your task? Your task is to line up at this gate, start from here, and finish at this gate. You'll start with the blue cone on your left side. That's how you remember it. That's how it's done in Gymkhana. You keep the blue cones on your left side. You will come here, make a complete U-turn, and ensure you have the bright red cone positioned clearly on your right side, and you will need to perform this maneuver a total of 5 distinct times. To make this entire process significantly easier for you, please do not worry at all about precisely counting each individual pass. When you successfully pass the prominent red cone for the 5th and final time, I will then raise my hand high into the air to clearly show you that you have completed the task. Then, as you pass this one on this side, because the blue is on the left,
All right,
you drive into the gate. It's important to fit inside it.
keep doing figure 8s the whole time.
Keep doing figure 8s the whole time. It will automatically start counting your time. So when you're ready, just go,
And that's it.
and that's it.
When finishing, do I have to stop in this gate or just pass it?
You have to stop in this gate.
Stop.
That's important. It will also be breaking practice at the same time. Really, right?
All right.
Let me tell you, you can absolutely lose the entire competition just by not fitting into this particular gate.
I can imagine the pressure is huge. So let's give it a try, guys.
He passed for the first time. Oh, foot out for safety. Pay attention to the knees. A professional track rider. Old habits stick. It's really nice that we didn't agree on anything here beforehand. And the last figure 8 ahead of him, I'm curious whether he even uses the clutch or not.
Fast.
Passed. Bravo, bravo. He made it through.
Devious bothers me a bit.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's normal. I would turn it off. Or maybe it reacts a bit too quickly, but that's my first suggestion. Now you talk because you're the expert.
How was it? Do you want to try a different one? Did you use the clutch or not?
I use the clutch.
Hmm.
I use the rear brake because I actually use the rear brake a lot while riding. I can't imagine riding here without the rear brake.
Okay.
I genuinely believe it's significantly more challenging and demanding to accomplish.
All right. You can use the clutch or you can go without it. In reality, somewhere in Gymkhana, with some motorcycles, we do use the clutch. Usually it's with single cylinder or twin cylinder bikes, like big V-twins, for example. When someone comes to us to practice on a chopper, like a VTX 1800 and so on.
Which jerks from low revs.
Yes, which has huge, massive cylinders. So in those cases, just a gentle touch. But even then, if we use the clutch, it's only slightly disengaged.
Just a slight slip, and that's all.
Just a light slip. It was nice to see. We commented on the recording that you're a track racer because
The knee.
the knee,
Because here you go the other way around.
the knees listen to make it easier for us, just like you normally have your leg, you know. Generally, we ride in first gear, unless the motorcycle is very small. We'll try it on the 125cc. I don't know yet. We haven't ridden it, whether it'll be more comfortable in first or second gear there, but generally, first gear on a motorcycle like that in most street bike keys is totally fine. So once you've got it in first gear, you don't need your left foot anymore. So just keep it wherever it's comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be all the way on your toes like on the track, but somewhere around the ball of your foot, right? Because once you get the hang of it, you'll start scraping your boots, you know? That's a shame. Especially since they say it's easier to lean to the left. So it's a shame about the boot, right? In general, with your legs here, you need to feel the motorcycle with both your foot and your knee.
So kind of like in motocross, we grip it with our thighs.
Yes, we grip it with our thighs. Your lower body needs to be firm so that your upper body can stay relaxed. Because when you're riding here, you'll need your upper body to look around, to steer. Yes, exactly. The feedback from your knee, from your heel, somewhere back here from your hip, will go to your brain about how the motorcycle is behaving, where it is.
But generally, from what I remember from some clips I've seen, in Gymkhana you actually ride, so to speak, with negative steering, meaning the opposite of on the track, so the body actually goes against it, right? And is that the only technique that riders use now?
No, no.
People ride differently.
There are different techniques.
So kind of like in supermoto. Some ride on the knee, others with the leg up. Just like in motocross.
That's a good comparison. Why do we lean the motorcycle? So that it turns tighter, because the tire, as we know, will have a smaller radius.
Yes.
So it's leaned over in order to make a tighter turn in such a tight gymkhana that counterweight really allows you to turn very, very tightly. In a sporty setting, where you're racing against the clock, you start to calculate whether it's worth it, because maybe I can go fast enough that the centrifugal force will allow me to stay in line with the motorcycle. Sometimes when the Japanese teach, they tell you to imagine that your head is at a certain distance, for example, from the handlebars. If the motorcycle leans, then your head also moves in the same way.
To be in
line with the axis of the motorcycle. That's already a neutral position. And from there, really, because you're turning right, in a moment you'll have to quickly shift hard to the left. If you counterbalance, sometimes you won't have enough time to shift to the other side.
In those tight track sequences, it might not be worth it.
It's really quite...
Aha.
A lot depends on the motorcycle. A lot depends on our style. Everyone develops their own style a bit, just like you said. Like in supermoto, it's individual. If we stay in line with the axis, that's probably the most universal position. Because then from left to right, we have that flexibility.
Neutral position.
Yes. But it's not just the upper body that works.
Actually, in supermoto, it's a bit like that too sometimes. In those really tight corners, riders go in with their foot out, but in the faster ones, it's definitely better to go out on the knee. So, are we changing the motorcycle?
Yeah, go ahead and change it, right?
Let's see.
Hey, by the way, what tire pressure are you running? Did you check it?
No, I didn't. I just got the bike and went by feel.
Aha.
2.5. Two in the front.
Probably whatever is most highly recommended, that's what I would go with. Listen, because in Gymkhana, especially at the beginning, it's practically not important. We ride street motorcycles, we use street tires, and we learn on street tire pressures.
Does the Gymkhana competition rulebook explicitly allow for the use of tire warmers or any kind of slick tires similar to those we commonly utilize in professional racing events?
Slicks are not allowed. Tire warmers are allowed, provided the tires have street homologation.
So we can hook up tires?
Yes, but in practice in our country or nearby the Czech Republic, no one uses tire warmers.
Okay.
Now, when we have the European Championships in Poland on the 11th of June,
in Warsaw,
in Bednary near Poznan, listen actually.
In Bednary near Poznan.
So it's really close for you, right? Sunday, with a great international lineup, because the entire European elite is coming 60 of the best female and male competitors, and in addition, the fastest female and the fastest male competitor from Japan are also flying in, especially for this event, to compete with us. Some people there will be warming up their tires, but they still won't be slicks, they'll be street tires, and that's completely fine, just like here. I know that these tires are practically brand new, yes, they've only done a few dozen kilometers.
Right, because listen, we've got standard Pirellis fitted here.
Here we've got the Rosso Corsa 4, which is already quite a serious and high performance tire, you could definitely say.
But it's a street tire.
Completely street legal.
It's a fully street tire, very advanced, because I can see here we've got two different types of rubber. If my eyes aren't deceiving me.
Yes, definitely at the front.
Right. So on the edges we have the grippier compound, which wears less because we spend less time cornering, while on the top there's a harder layer that gives us good feedback and, most importantly, longer mileage. But these are, we keep emphasizing, still street tires. Nothing has been changed here. This motorcycle simply rides on the road with these tires, and that's what we're training on now.
Even if you, I don't know, put on some Scorpion trails or whatever, absolutely. These are tires you could use here, ride on safely and train safely. When you run over a cone on the track, or when you're riding somewhere in the mountains on the road, well, you start wider so you can exit narrower.
Exactly.
Take it easy, start approaching from a wider angle.
I understand, so a bigger angle of approach.
Then maybe your entry speed will be a bit higher and you won't need as much clutch, for example.
Okay, good, because in general, when it comes to width, if how much space do we have at our disposal, as much as the lot has, abstractly speaking,
as much space as you can find. Here in Menzikard, we have good conditions because we have a big lot. This lot isn't always that big, but riding in Gymkhana is also about choosing your own line through the course.
Exactly. That tells me a lot. Okay, listen.
So go ahead, take it wider, and start whenever you're ready. Oh, nice, nice. He's listening. It's so nice to ride with someone who listens. He's taking a wider line, still gently using the clutch to help, but we'll get to that. Everyone had to learn at some point. Everyone started somewhere. I can already clearly perceive that the overall time achieved will be significantly better this time around. I can confidently inform you that on the initial trial run, the recorded time was precisely 44 seconds. And now, with remarkable speed and efficiency, he is already making his way back, heading directly towards the finish line and home.
Did I get enough driving in?
Yes, you certainly did. You absolutely did do that.
And I'll tell you, for me, this motorcycle is better. I think the other one just has a bit too much low in torque. So definitely better. I could feel it already because I don't think there's any traction control here.
You know what? There is, but you could see it when you twisted the throttle, especially in the initial part.
Exactly. Maybe it's set to minimum because I could feel a bit of slip.
Traction control could very well be on, indeed.
Yes.
If we ride really fast, then probably somewhere we'd be able to do it without traction control, but we have...
Contrary to appearances, I feel like it's completely different. A different first gear ratio, so it's very quick once you release the clutch. And I think with the clutch here, I would probably pay more attention to it now, based on what you told me, that maybe it would actually be easier to ride without using the clutch there than here, because for me it's too fast in the corner. So maybe to make it perfect here, you'd have to change the gear ratios. But honestly, I found it easier to ride this one.
Yes, but you were already riding much better, taking wider lines, and you had that smoothness that was immediately noticeable.
Yes, indeed, those are the valuable suggestions that truly work effectively. And that is precisely how we are continuously improving this particular race here.
Will you try the 125 well?
Let's try the 125. All right, listen up. The smallest buzz.
Yes, it's a single cylinder engine, so the precise throttle control will probably be incredibly important here while riding this particular vehicle. Gently, if you're relaxed here, you'll be able to control the throttle much better.
Please don't tense up too much.
Don't tense up, and you can see how it feels for you, because maybe when turning around, it'll be better if you hold it gently. Don't let it go all the way. You have to try it out for yourself, see how it goes. You don't know the bike, you don't know the discipline, so we're searching. Everything's good.
I used to ride motorcycles a bit, but that's it. The ABS is
Yeah.
the smallest buzz today. Let's give it a try. You can see here the tank is narrow, so my knee automatically came off. But it rides nicely. It's already going much, much, much smoother. You can even see how he leans into the turn. And here he's already finishing. He's already finishing. Yes? Go on, tell me. That was the fastest.
It was the fastest. Did you feel it? Did you feel it? No.
I mean, here it kind of reminded me of motorcycles, a bit like my discipline, because here you really have to respect the speed. We have very little power. You can already see that the technique here will be different, the way you maintain speed in the corner and so on. But I think it's probably the easiest here. I think here the most optimal would probably be something like a 300 or 400.
Fairly light, but at the same time smooth.
Because there really is a bit of a power deficit here, right? You have to stretch out first gear, but it's definitely good practice because, like you said, keeping the throttle steady so you don't jerk the bike and so on.
You did that really well.
You can definitely train that better here than on those big beasts. So it's a bit like in my discipline where you start on the small ones because that's where you pick up good habits so you can ride the big ones fast later.
And that's cool, what you said, that you have to respect speed. And if anything happens, it's low, it's light. So if you need to put your foot down, you just do it.
What's nice is that first gear here is so slim, gentle, and slow. And you can really forget about the clutch. Here, yes, on this motorcycle, I would definitely still have to try the same technique on a Lita bike. I think it would be difficult on an 800, but here you can clearly forget about the clutch after starting and just work the throttle. And in fact, it's worth gently working the throttle all the time so that I feel those play or gaps don't develop. So that the tension between the drive and the rear wheel keeps the transmission engaged constantly.
I like that. It's good that they brought you in. I don't even have to say anything, and you come to these conclusions on your own. That's how you can work. Thank you very much. So listen, maybe we should try to record something about some elements that anyone can practice on their own, and we'll also show what exactly they'll be practicing this way. I'll show you this figure where we'll practice, and we'll work on slalom, turns, gates, and rotation. 4 in 1.
Sounds like a gym workout. Gate, rotation. Oh, I remember perfectly the moment when I started racing and everyone told me, you'll see, now you'll quit, you won't ride on the street anymore. Listen, I never stopped riding on the street. I still love it, even though it's insanely dangerous. Unfortunately, that's something we have to admit.
I can tell just by looking at your jacket. Some people buy them in that color just to have them look that faded.
Well, this jacket is quite a few years old. To sum up on me, Wash, listen, who is, let's say, a professional rider and I, we both still ride on the road all the time, so I think we don't have to seem like some aliens to you, talking about unbelievable things. Because we're here to show you how what we do here directly applies to riding on the road, how to get out of dangerous situations, and simply how to ride more efficiently and safely, right? So Miłosz is going to show us how it should be done. I imagine he could probably do it even better on his own bike. But as we mentioned, we're showing you how to do this on motorcycles you simply have at hand, the ones you have in your garages, and there's absolutely nothing stopping you from practicing on these bikes.
Wide handlebars, wide tank.
There's something to hold on to. All right, show us.
Thank you. What could I do here to annoy him? Listen, definitely without the clutch. I'll definitely show with my eyes where I'm gonna look. Or maybe I'll wave at him just to tease him a little. I'm riding wide. I start and look as far ahead as possible, wherever I can here. And I've probably already done 5. That'll do. We're done. Thank you.
How much did you beat me by?
Oh, the lap timer didn't turn on. No, for sure, it was slower. Let's just ride a bit more freely, a bit faster.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is, you can really see that ease in you, that mastered technique. And that's exactly what we're going to work on, so that each of us, each of you rides like that. So it's just in your blood, not like you're just letting go of the handlebars.
The most important thing, listen, is that he lied the whole episode. I'm not professional at all. I've been practicing for 3 years. Listen, I'm a psychologist, that's my profession. I practice in my free time, but I can see the results. And that's why I recommend it.
And you recommend it? Exactly, that's it. We recommend it. Whatever motorcycle you have, whatever safe clothing you wear, look for a practice lot, grab some cones, and let's ride. Let's ride more safely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.